Hello everybody and welcome back to SkySaga Alpha 6. We are over here on the workshop island and it is time to do a little bit more work over here. Hopefully we can get this place looking pretty good before the end of this episode. I've been going out and harvesting up a whole lot of recipes, so we might even be able to fill this space out quite a bit more before the end of this episode, or at least that's the plan. We'll see how all of that stuff goes. Anyway, as I mentioned in the last episode, I've actually been away on holidays. I did actually manage to do just a little bit of work here and there around the place while I was away. So if you come down here, you can see that I've actually got the entire floor pad of ice now completely marked out. So you can see that this is going to be a very big workshop. I may end up making it just a little bit wider, but I think for now this is going to be really good indeed. Do want to put the walls on next. That's probably going to be, like I said, the very next thing I want to do. And then all the way up there you can just see where the ceiling is going to be in this thing. So still got a fair amount of rock to clear away from here. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff in here that needs to go, and kind of marked out the entire width of this place. So I've got a bit of work ahead of me to clear all this stuff out, but that there is the ceiling height above the floor. So it's actually going to be quite a tall room, which is perfect because that is exactly what I wanted for this thing. So we're going to have a very tall roof, and then we're probably going to have at about this height, or maybe that height there in that type of block, we're going to have the midwinter lights to light everything up. And then even further up, we'll end up having some form of other light source all the way up there so that you can see the ceiling as well. So yeah, like I said, I've done just a little bit of work and kind of mapped some stuff out and got myself all sorted out, and just kind of to the point that I am ready to move on and do some more clearing and to start finishing off this area. So I'm thinking that the very next thing I'm going to do is add the walls in and just kind of block this area off a little bit so that I can see just how far everything is and what it's going to look like with walls on the outside here. And once we've got the walls in, we're going to keep clearing out all of this brown stone. And yeah, then we're going to have to decorate this place and then also upstairs. I'm hoping, like I said, that we're going to have enough time to do all of these things in this episode, because it'll be really good to get this thing as close as I possibly can to finish this episode so that we can move on and we can do some different projects and some bigger projects over on some of my other islands. Anyway, I think that's kind of enough talking from me. I should move on and start building up some walls down under here. This is coming along quite well. As you can see, we've kind of got the walls mostly up on this side. They're almost all the way to the top, but then we actually have them all the way up and slightly blended as well over on this side. Now, still haven't cleared out all of the stone that I need to clear out. As you can see, there's still lots and lots and lots of this stuff in here, but we do have just a little bit of the roofing done and all of this side here. As I said, I still have a little bit more work to go around the tops and things. Now, the other thing that did happen while I was kind of working away and putting all this ice down is I started this off. It's a bit of a square room, and I've got this nice little track along here that was the back wall to this place. But I have decided now that that doesn't suit me anymore, and we're actually going to go out and build just a little bit extra on here. So I've got this kind of half dome section coming all the way out the back here, and the plan is that once I knock this wall down and add some more ceiling in place, we're going to have a gigantic Christmas tree all the way out the back here. And we're going to pile a whole bunch of the chests, the present chests, and other things in underneath it to make it look like a gigantic Christmas tree that the workers put all of the presents under once they're finished. And that's the plan for out here, is to build a giant work area. Now, most likely I'm going to end up doing a whole bunch of just regular crafting benches, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm basically going to play this one a little bit by ear. I'll put down a few of each different type and see which one I like the best. I probably won't end up putting in any of the wood or stone benches, and I might shy away from the regular crafting bench as well. But like I said, we'll have to see how they look when they go in here. I just want to make sure that they look as Christmassy as I can possibly make them look. Anyway, up here, not too much has gone on. I have put a few wreaths at the front of the entranceway here just to make it look a little bit more Christmassy, and I still need to work out what I'm doing with this entire area out the back in here. So I'm currently working on building up some more windows. So there's going to be a run of 4 windows across the back here. What I'm thinking is I'm going to put a bit of a dining table here, I think, and then we're going to have chairs on either side of that, possibly in the bleach wood as well. We do have the recipe for the dining table, so we'll have to go through and find that one, of course. Now, I have been collecting a fair few recipes, but as it turns out, a lot of the stuff that I've collected doesn't really fit in this area that I'm building. So, I mean, stuff like a hay bale, I don't really need that, and there's stuff in here that just doesn't quite fit with what I'm trying to do, like the wall hangings and all this type of stuff. So I'm just going to have to be very carefully picking the things that I want in this build. I also have rugs now, which means I can put rugs on the floor. These are probably, well, at least hopefully going to end up being very Christmassy with red, white, and green all over them. But yeah, that's it. I just kind of need to at least start thinking about how I'm going to decorate this place in here so that the next couple of cuts aren't just me completely clearing out all of the area downstairs and we actually do something a little bit more interesting. So yeah, I'm going to keep working here. I'm going to collect all those up and make some more windows, and then we're going to clear some more out down in the workshop area. More has been done around here, so we have a look inside. We've actually started decorating just a little bit, so we've kind of got this corner set up. I'm probably going to add a few more presents in around under the bottom here. We've also got a table and a nice little view out into the back area. I'm just going to get rid of that grid so we can have a bit more of a look around. And yeah, I've also put a few presents in over here, so just a little bit more decorating, and I think it's starting to look just a little bit more homely. I'm also going to put a couple of chairs in here, so one here and one over there, and then of course populate the table out a little bit, put down some plates and probably a fruit bowl or something like that. Yeah, this corner definitely does need a few more presents. Probably have one more present in here or something like that. And yeah, just kind of fill this place out a little bit more with some more Christmassy items. And then over here we're going to have a set of chairs, so some big kind of comfortable chairs. I'm going to have to find somebody who has the ornate chair recipe, or I'm going to have to go out and find that myself. So yeah, this is it up the top. It's starting to look a little bit better up the top here, I think, and I'm definitely confident we can get this place looking really, really nice. Anyway, there's also been some work done down the bottom here. If we continue all the way down through the very dark ice pit, down to the bottom, you can see that the back wall is now curved, so we've actually got this nice curved back wall in place, and I removed the one that was down around this line here. In fact, I'm just going to put a torch on the wall at either side down this line, just so I remember where that line actually is, because it's going to be important for future parts of this build. Anyway, this ice wall at the back here isn't quite as high as it should be yet, as you can see, as is this side wall and the back wall as well. But I'm also running out of ice, so I'm probably going to have to go and get some more in the near future. And then also up here, we've cleared away a fair chunk of this stone that's up here, and also cleared enough room in the ceiling for the ice that needs to go in here. Also cleared out all of this area above the new curve section, so that's all ready for the ice to go in. So just need to clear this wall out back a little bit further. There's not too much left to go here. We need to clear this way, and then once we've cleared all of that, we can come down here and clear from the bottom. And then we'll have a nice big clean room to work with. Once all that type of stuff is done, I'll be putting the ice in the ceiling. But once again, I need to go out and get myself some more ice because I have run out. Well, almost run out. I've got like 114 left, which is not going to be anywhere near enough to do everything I need to do around here. It's probably not even going to be enough to finish out these walls. So yeah, that's how we're going right now. I think the next thing we need to do is head out and collect up some more materials. And here we go, we're out in a world, we're actually out in a rare Arctic right now. And of course around here looking for some ice. This may of course not be the best place to be looking for ice, but that's okay. I really just wanted to get out here and try one of these out because I haven't actually been into a rare Arctic yet. I've only really done the rares in the greens or the forest world, so it was kind of a bit more of an exploration for me than actually going out looking for ice. And we seem to have stumbled upon something here, although it seems to be somewhat hidden in these towers. Let's see if we can find a way into these things. Well, then again, we can always find a way in. Pickaxes are always the way into any place that you find. This is very interesting. I don't think I've seen one of these before. Oh, we need to run or attack. Whew! There we go, and we've got some emblems out of that as well, which is awesome. That's kind of what we want. And this seems to be kind of sprawly and castle-esque, but there seems to be a downstairs area there. I'm just going to quickly check back up through these outside pillars, and I'm going to go down into the underside of this thing and have a look, because this is actually a landmark I've never seen before, which is always interesting to say, because I've been playing this game for a little while now, and I thought I had seen pretty much all the landmarks this game had to throw out there, so it's nice to be able to find something that I don't know about. So I've kind of explored everything there is to explore in this place, and there's not really actually a lot here. These dip downs out here that I thought led off to something are literally just pits in the earth, so I honestly don't know what this place is or what this place was supposed to be, but it was interesting having a look around something that I hadn't really seen before. Like I said, it does seem to be a little lacking in terms of what is actually here. Looks like they're supposed to have another floor on it and potentially more rooms and stuff in here as well, but this is just the way procedural generation works. Every now and again you get a building like this that just has pretty much everything gone in it. So anyway, we're going to continue on and see if we can find another building. So just quickly before the dust sets back in again, oh, and it's setting back in very, very quickly here. Get a quick moment's respite just as the sun comes up, where you can actually see everything around you. And there is basically just lots and lots of enemies roaming around on the hills here. And it looks like this weird and wonderful thing that we stumbled upon earlier actually leads over to this guy, which I'm assuming is the Sky Peak Citadel from Alpha 5. And yeah, this place is just kicking my ass right now. I have had so many enemies come up to me, and a lot of them have been elite Rawbones, and also these guys, Rawbone Brutes. So I have been taking an absolute hammering, and so is my armor. So I'm probably going to get myself out of here as quickly as possible, which will mean getting into here, maybe looking at going all the way to the top, but I'm assuming I'm going to need to go down through the bottom into another map to get out of this place. So I just want to get out of here as quickly as possible, sign this thing off, and I'll go and find some ice in a different world, because this is just not going to be the world for me to go and find ice. Alright, so here we are in the base of this thing, and as I predicted, here is the tunnel leading down, which is going to lead on to the next part of this adventure. But there's also this way up, and I don't know, it's actually kind of tempting while I'm standing in here and not running up the slopes. It's actually kind of tempting to go up and have a look. Now I opened up the chest in here as well. We have our first Arctic gear recipe, or whatever these are, epic Arctic gear recipes. So I might even go up this tower, because there's not likely to be another chest up here. But if there is, it's going to have a high chance of having good gear in it. So we might as well have a bit of a look, and as long as we don't run into these guys, haha, kicked them off the edge. Perfect. That was not a fight I wanted to go into. Two Rawbone Brutes would have absolutely destroyed me. Thankfully, there's no edge on this place, so it worked out exactly in my favor, which is awesome. Now let's go up here and have a look. There's probably going to be a boss all the way at the top, which I may not have enough stuff to deal with right now. But that gear recipe is going to help. Aha! No, we've just got an elite Rawbone Brute. That does not sound like a fun fight. Well, that was not a fight I was ever going to win. I ended up whacking away at that guy like 10 or so times, and he was still up on like a quarter health. So I just decided it was worth moving on and coming back down here and actually finishing this adventure off, rather than attempting to kill something that I don't need to kill, especially when it is insanely strong as that one was. But then again, having said all that, I'll probably end up facing a boss down in the bottom here that will do exactly the same thing to me. So let's go down here and see what we've got. We're heading on into some caves here. So this looks like the old system that used to have the Hive Queen in it. Now we've got elite bears of some kind. That was a pretty interesting looking bear, that one. Alright, now if we follow the old method, we need to follow whichever way has got the hanging jewels over top of it. So I think we're going this way. But there are so many bears around here. Whoop. Alright, let's get rid of a few of these guys. Oh, I've just seen an even bigger bear, I think. Nope, I've just seen double bears. So many bears. Well, good thing I'm eating bear meat. Gives you immunity, right? That's how this works. Anyway, let's kill these guys off. There's also this kind of unusual pairing in here. We've got Elite Yetis and a Sabertooth. This is a really cool... I love the look of the Sabertooth. If it's not dead already, I'd love to go show you guys that. No, it is indeed dead. That's alright. They are pretty easy to kill. The Elite Yetis are a little bit harder, and they seem to hit harder than the Yetis too, which is kind of nice because the Yetis don't hit very hard at all. In fact, especially in the lower levels, you can kind of just get away with taking a hit from Yeti because it's almost like being kicked by a player. That was a lot of Yetis to take down all at once, but hey, we get some Dark Arts for it, so that's always a good start. Okay, on we go into the boss's chamber. Let's see what is lurking in here. Of course, it's a bear. What type of bear have we got, though? This is the weird thing. The bear's name tag seems to be kind of hiding in their skin. Elite Frostbite Bear. Ooh. Wow, this thing looks like it's going to be a tough one to beat, and I am right down in here with it. That's not a good start. Actually, it's not too bad. It seems to be taking damage better than the Elite Rawbone Brutes. That's what I like to see. I don't want to see not being able to do any damage to this thing. Oh, where did it go? There it is. Let's kill this guy off as quickly as we can. We also do have a little bit of help, which is always nice, especially when dealing with these bigger enemies. Alright, let's go check this chest out. Chest. Oh, look at that. That looks pretty awesome. Let's take all of that. Bam, bam, bam. So, it's not a bad run, really. 40 Sky Iron Plate. We've got this treasure amber to go, which is going to be good. Anyway, I will also clear up our Arctic Mastery quest, which will be awesome. Anyway, let's go over and crack this amber. Alright, let's see what is inside this amber that we picked up. Purify this amber. Bam! I love that sound. And we've got the Arctic Sentinel shield. That could actually come in quite handy. I'm not really sure how well the shields go in this one, but hey, it's always good to have a piece of equipment that you can use in a world like this. So there you go, bam, that is what we've got from that adventure. Oh, and we've also got enough knots to go and buy ourselves some treasure as well. Anyway, I'm going to clean this stuff up and I'll head back over to the island and show you what has been done. We are starting to power on through this build now, so if we come up in here, just a little bit more stuff has been done. So went out and actually did manage to go and get all the ice I need. Thanks to Perian for coming along and helping out with that. That was awesome, and it was great because I mean it helped a lot, and I managed to get all of the ice that I need in a lot shorter time. Now, when we actually turn the corner here, we've done a little bit of work. So bam, I've lit up this ice staircase now. So we've got these beacons down in here. These are just blue stone, earth stone, I think those are called now, and blue gems as well, and that makes them look pretty good, I think, and it makes them fit in with this ice at the very least. They also kind of packed in the ice in around behind them so that you can't see out into the void, because that, of course, was the way that it would have been if I hadn't packed them all in. Now, down in here, we actually got this place all kind of squared away now. All I need to do is put a door in here, and this bit is probably going to be done. I may end up even putting another Christmas tree down here in the corner, but I'm not sure about that yet. We'll see. This yeah, it's not quite done yet. We'll probably end up putting more Christmassy decorations all over the place. This is also a little bit of an experiment to see how far light gets thrown by these things, and they give a pretty decent amount of light, so I'm probably going to hang them at about this height in through here. Now, speaking of in through here, we have got the walls and ceiling completely done. So if we jump all the way up to the top here, you can see that the entire ceiling is done. And I'm going to throw the grid on. I know some of you guys don't like the grid so much, but if I throw the grid on, you can actually see, even where the torch isn't, that ice is all the way around, and the walls and ceiling are in place. So all that leaves now is for us to wipe out this entire section of stone that's sitting up here, and then we can start on placing down all of the things I want to place down. So I'm probably going to start by building the midwinter tree out the back here, get that up in the middle, and then we'll work on the rest of the area. This build is really starting to take shape, so I've just done a little bit more work in here. I got Onyx Eve to come through and craft these chairs for me, which is awesome. Thanks again for that, Onyx. That is awesome. These things add just that little touch to this house, and I've just set them here, sitting there looking at the fire, so they can kind of be on them and staring at the fire. Although there is no fire in here right now, because this is actually going to be the entrance to this place eventually, but more on that a little bit later. I've also added a big banner over here on the wall and some stuff on the table, and then some chairs as well to make it look like this is actually a usable table that people eat food on. Of course, we can get up to the rafters again now, but I don't really want to head up there. I've also added a few chests along the side here. These have a purpose that I'll talk about in just a little bit, but then the big news of the day, if we head down all the way down through here, through our candy cane striping, through our now very well lit up staircase, we can see that the entire room down here has been lit up and cleared. Check this thing out. Now, the other thing that also happened is this guy has started up. So this is our midwinter tree. This is going to be a pretty decent copy of the one that is in the midwinter area and the midwinter keystone, I should say. So it's going to tower pretty tall, at least as tall as I can get it before I get to the ceiling up the top there. And then, yeah, we're actually going to put presents and stuff underneath it and decorate this tree and all that kind of stuff. Of course, my big issue right now is lighting. I have absolutely plastered this place with these Christmas lights, but as you can see, they give off very, very little light, and most of the light that is actually on this Christmas tree right now is given off by these 3 torches around the sides here. So I'm going to have to work something out to fix this problem. I'm probably going to end up hanging jeweled lamps up from the ceiling. Probably end up doing some form of like ice rafters or something. I don't know. We'll see how all of that goes. Right now you can't actually even see the ceiling, so rafters aren't a huge concern. Of course, the other thing, we've got this little bit of light overlap here coming from this stairwell, so we'll have to work something out to do with that as well. Now, the final thing I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about a little bit is I'm not too sure yet how I'm setting up this main run of stuff. So the current idea is to set this entire area up as a workshop and have a whole bunch of furniture, benches, and things around here to make it look like it's a Santa's workshop type build. But there's a couple of ways I can do this. I can either have 2 rather long lines of workbenches kind of spaced evenly apart along this run up here. Now I've done that very, very badly. Or I can end up doing it this way and have individual runs of workbenches kind of going across this way along the side here. And I'm really not sure which way I want to go with this yet. As you can see, it's going to probably look a little bit better, I think, doing these individual rows sideways along here. I also want to try and do something with a few snowmen to make it look like they're carrying presents out towards the Christmas tree at the back here. And then finally, there's something I need to do all the way out the back here. I actually need to put a secret exit out the back, because the way you get into this place is going to be in through the chimney, and going in through the chimney there's actually no way back out through the house at the top. So we need to sort something out that will fix that up. Anyway, like I said, I've got a lot of work still to do on this place, but it is coming along quite nicely now, and I am really, really loving this build. I hope you guys are as well. Just before I finish out this one little clip, I want to say a huge thank you to Train2001, who came over and gave me a bit of blood iron, which is awesome because that is going to help with some of the stuff that I'm building in around here. So a little bit more decorating has been done, and as you can see out here we've got some light sources going down the edge of the path. Not 100% sure about these things yet, but they are the best light sources that I have right now. At least the best looking light sources that will sit on the ground. Of course I do have the jeweled lamps, which give off a lot of light, but unfortunately I can't just have jeweled lamps sitting on the ground, so I might look at finding something else that could hang the jeweled lamps off of. For example, But for now, I think this is working pretty well indeed. And then we've got up here, we've got a few more up here. And if we come inside, I've just done a few touches so they are rugs all over the floor. And then I've just kind of been working on this back corner a little bit. So we've got a few wreaths around the place and a few extra Christmas boxes. But I think the big thing is this corner. So what I'm thinking about doing is removing this guy from in here and putting down a couple of coffers and then also putting in some bridge slats. So the coffers are these guys. I'll just give it a nice little look in the corner here. I'll probably end up putting some books on the coffers or something along those lines as well. Just kind of fill this corner out a little bit so it doesn't look quite as empty, because it is a little bit empty right now. Anyway, that's how things are going in here. I am loving the way this thing looks, and I think it is going really, really well. Now, like I said before, the way you are going to be able to get into this place eventually is going through the chimney. That one block is not going to be there eventually, but we'll end up with something leaning against here that you'll be able to jump up onto. It would basically do the same thing. Either that, or we'll end up with spring traps in the path just down here along the bottom, and you'll be shot up to the top, up where I am right now, and then you'll land in through the chimney like this. Bam, and this will be your first look into this little place. So this is kind of the entranceway, and I think this is going to look pretty good. I like the Christmas tree over in this corner, and like I said, just need to find something that fills this other corner out just a little bit, and then yeah, we've got everything else in place. No real work has been done down here since the last cut. As you can see, when we head all the way down here, we still just have everything done in here. I'm definitely kind of thinking that this here is the way to go. We'll have a big line down the middle as a kind of pathway, and then running down this edge we'll have all of our workbenches and stuff, and then same down here as well. We'll just have lines and lines and lines of workbenches, and I think that's going to be the best and easiest way to go about doing all of this stuff. I still need to work out what I'm doing for light sources in this room, because as I said, these light sources aren't the best, but I will find something, I'm sure. Worst case scenario, we'll go and we'll build some more of these guys that we have up the top there, if I can find them in here. Yeah, the stone beacons. Worst case scenario, we'll build some of those and put them in here, or we'll sneak them into here somehow, I guess I should say, because I don't really want them to be as obvious as the other ones. The final thing as well is we're going to put a door down in here, probably about there. It's going to lead off out this way and around the corner. Basically the whole idea is that you're going to be able to drop down out into the world void through there, and then you're going to end up at the top here, so that you don't actually need to use this door to get in and out of the build that I've created. Anyway, I think that is going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have enjoyed this, look out for next week, because we will be finishing off this build next week, and we'll be moving on to a much larger build, which I am really, really excited for. So anyway, until then, I will see you next time.